The buzzing neon sign outside the motel cast an eerie glow over the cracked asphalt of the parking lot. Travelers passed this place every day, nestled just off a desolate highway in the Midwest. Most sped past it without a second thought. But for the unlucky few who stayed, the Crescent Pines Motel offered more than just a night's rest. Linda Carter, a traveling journalist, had heard the rumors. Stories of disappearances tied to a single room, room 666. She was drawn to the morbid mystery like a moth to a flame. The disappearances weren't widely reported, tucked away in obscure police reports and online forums. There was no hard evidence, no clear patterns, just a whispered legend of a cursed room. Linda wasn't a believer in curses, but she did believe in uncovering the truth. She booked room 666, ignoring the clerk's quick flicker of discomfort as he handed her the key. "You sure about this room?" he asked, his voice low. "It's just a number," Linda replied with a smile, trying to mask the unease crawling up her spine. The room was unremarkable at first glance. A typical, slightly dingy motel room with faded wallpaper, a small television, and a bed with a quilt that had seen better days. But something about the air felt wrong, heavy. Linda set up her laptop and recorder, determined to document every detail of her stay. The first few hours passed uneventfully, but as midnight approached, the atmosphere shifted. A faint tapping echoed from the walls, soft and rhythmic. She froze, straining to pinpoint the source. "Pipes," she muttered, though her heart raced. The tapping grew louder, joined by a faint, chilling whisper. Linda turned to the door, half expecting to see someone standing outside. There was nothing. She bolted the lock and slid a chair under the knob for good measure. At 1:13 a.m., the television flickered to life. Static filled the screen, crackling loudly in the silence. Linda grabbed the remote and turned it off, only for it to snap back on moments later. "All right," she said aloud, trying to steady her voice. "If this is your way of scaring me, it's not working." The static shifted, forming vague shapes. Linda leaned closer, her curiosity overpowering her fear. It looked like a face, a blurred, distorted visage with hollow eyes. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice trembling. A sudden knock at the door made her jump. She turned, clutching her chest. "Who's there?" No answer. Just 3 more knocks, slow and deliberate. Linda crept to the door, peering through the peephole. The hallway was empty. She opened the door cautiously, only to find a folded piece of paper lying on the floor. Her hands shook as she unfolded it. Written in jagged handwriting were 3 words: "Get out now." Panic surged through her. She grabbed her phone to call the front desk, but there was no signal. The landline on the nightstand was dead. She felt trapped, the walls of room 666 closing in. The whispers returned, louder this time, accompanied by a scraping sound from beneath the bed. Linda hesitated, then crouched down to look. A pair of bloodshot eyes stared back at her. She screamed, stumbling backward. The figure slid out from under the bed, a man, gaunt and wild-eyed, clutching a rusted knife. "You weren't supposed to stay," he rasped, advancing slowly. "No one ever listens." Linda scrambled to her feet, grabbing the lamp from the nightstand. She swung it with all her strength, catching him in the side of the head. He stumbled, but the blow only seemed to enrage him. For the door, yanking it open and running into the hallway. The man pursued her, his footsteps pounding behind her. Linda screamed for help, but the motel seemed eerily deserted. She reached the lobby where the night clerk stood frozen in shock. "Call the police!" Linda shouted, pointing behind her. The clerk fumbled for the phone as the man lunged at Linda. She grabbed a heavy ashtray from the counter and swung it, knocking the knife from his hand. The clerk tackled him to the ground, pinning him until the authorities arrived. When the police finally handcuffed the man, Linda collapsed into a chair, shaking. The man was identified as Edward Harlow, drifter with a long history of violence. He confessed to killing several travelers who had stayed in room 60616, hiding their bodies in a crawl space beneath the room. Linda's story made headlines, But she struggled to shake the trauma. The whispers and the distorted face on the television haunted her dreams. She moved out of her apartment, changed her number, and left investigative journalism behind. Room 666 was sealed off, door bolted and plastered with a sign that read, "Do not enter." But travelers passing by the Crescent Pines Motel still claimed to hear whispers and tapping late at night. Some say Edward Harlow left a part of himself behind, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to check in. And every time the wind howled through the desolate highway, Linda couldn't help but wonder if the killer, or the room itself, was truly gone. Curiosity is a double-edged sword, a force that drives humanity forward while often luring individuals into unforeseen dangers. Linda Carter's story serves as a chilling testament to the risks of seeking truth without fully weighing the potential consequences. Her desire to uncover the mysteries of Room 666 came from a noble intent, exposing hidden dangers and sharing a story the world deserved to know. Yet her journey also highlights the importance of heeding warnings and trusting intuition. The world is full of mysteries, but not all are meant to be unraveled. Linda dismissed the unease of the motel clerk, ignored the strange atmosphere of the room, and pushed forward even when fear began to creep in. Her determination, while commendable, brought her face to face with a deadly reality. Sometimes the pursuit of answers can blind us to the risks lying in wait. Her harrowing escape and the eventual capture of Edward Harlow reveal another layer to this moral. Evil often hides in plain sight, cloaked in the mundane. Reminder that some truths come at great personal cost. The lesson of Room 666 is clear. Balance curiosity with caution. Not every mystery is worth risking your safety. The instinct to explore should never overshadow the instinct to survive.